Hello and welcome to my newest tutorial. I've come a very long way to make it. I've re-recorded this tutorial 3 times, and I hope you will find it useful. So, let's begin. Open GCScape. Go to the CSGO folder and open the pack file. Extract models and materials folders. Make a new folder for extracted files. Delete all folders that may contain files with bones inside. For example, characters and weapons folders. You can delete useless models too, like inventory items. Open BSP source. You must install Java to make this program work. Go to your CSGO folder, find the folder named Maps. Make a new folder for your BSP maps and select the maps you want to import. Make a new folder called VMF and convert all the maps. Now you need to merge the unpacked and original materials and models folders, like I'm doing this. Go to my Discord server and get my materials, using tools and Hammer helper widgets. This plugin is required for the widget, so download it too. Open the Unreal's plugins folder and install Hammer NPY toolkit. Create new blank project. Make sure ray tracing is turned off. We can turn it on later, but we don't need it now. Now enable Hammer and NPY toolkit plugins and restart the engine. If you want, you can enable the Unreal Engine for layout, but it's not necessary. Open the content folder in your project and install all materials and widgets you downloaded from the Discord server. All you need is to merge the content folder from the RAR file with the content folder in your project. First of all, we need to tick Unreal Engine. In the editor settings, we can turn on the performance statistics and set the path for the cache. DDC is the folder with all cached data. The more you use the engine, the larger this folder becomes, so it makes sense not to keep it on your C drive. You can set the same folder here, if you don't have a lot of free disk space. Right click on the hammer widget and run it. And navigate to the models folder you extracted earlier. This utility will clean up the entire folder, and you can also split the folder into several parts. The less RAM you have installed, the more folders you need. I have 24 gigs of RAM, so I need 8 folders. Open the Hammer plugin. Go to the Texture tab. Drag and drop the original Hammer material to the source material input. Take the decal basic material and put it to the decal material input. Now choose the materials folder you extracted earlier. Type CSGO here. The plugin will create this folder during import, and hit the import button. After a while, you will be asked to create additional materials. Just press now. Check your RAM's usage, and restart the engine if it's above 90%. Go to the Property tab and choose the first models folder. Type CSGO here and hit enter. Check this empty tick, then click all and hit the import button. After importing the first folder, you will need to restart the engine and import the next folder with models. You must repeat these steps until all folders are imported. Right-click on the Editing Tools widget and run it. Go to the Textures tab. Make sure your path is correct and convert normals textures. Right-click on the Hammer Helper widget and run it. Go to the Retarget tab and put the hammer's original material to the old material slot. Put the surface material to the new material slot and click Retarget. Let's tweak the project settings before import. Go to the project settings and find the rendering tab. Your dynamic global illumination and reflection methods must be set to lumen. If your GPU supports ray tracing, check this tick. Also, check the tick for hardware ray tracing. In the software ray tracing mode tab, choose detailed tracing. In the ray lighting mode tab, choose heat lighting for reflections. Turn off static light support. Separate translucency should be turned off too. Also, now you can set near clip plane. This will prevent your POV from clipping. Put here a value of 001. Now we need to tweak hammer. Find the hammer tab. I'm gonna use 2.3 scale, so here I need to divide 100 by 2.3. In the prop scale handling parameters, choose Unreal Engine scale. Decouple brush meshes from origin should be checked. Also, turn on two-sided shadows. Now restart the engine to apply the new settings. Now create the new empty level. Open the hammer. Choose the map you want to import. I'll import the Inferno, because it's the most cursed map. Select the directory where you want to import your map's files. And open the map file. Find the tool material and mark all of them. Once all materials are marked, just click the Go button. Usually it takes about 10 minutes to import your map. It depends on your map's size. First of all, we need to clean the map. Remove useless part of the map, like these flying wheels areas. Open the EU editing tools and go to the map tab. I want to keep original lights angle, so I'll keep the sun actor. Also, we can spawn cables at this step. Select the sky box and click Fix Sky. We only need background from the skybox, so remove useless parts of it. If you found totally wrong prop, select all the similar props with Shift E and replace them. Sometimes the wrong material is applied to the models. Open this mesh from the Details tab and change the material. Some props have colors. To apply the color, open the material instance and enable the switch called Tint Paint, and choose the color. Some props have multiple colors. Just duplicate material instance, apply that material to the prop, and set the color you want. Dynamic props usually have wrong rotation, so select all of them and rotate them by 90 degrees. To set up the light, open up Environment Light Mixer and spawn light actors. We need all of them except the second sun actor. Also, we can spawn post-process to tweak auto-exposure. First of all, make it unbound. Find the exposure tab and set the same settings as I have. Now the level is over bright, so we need to reduce the intensity of the sunlight. Also reset sun's color and make it movable. Now set real-time capture for your skylight. Go to the exponential height fog and check volumetric fog here. To avoid the penetration of light through the props, make the shadow two-sided. Select all the static mesh actors, go to the details panel and search for the two-sided shadow, then turn it on. You can fix these ugly shadows only with ray traced shadows. Select your directional light and search for the ray tracing shadows here. Open GC Escape. Go to the models folder and get folders with weapons and players. The files inside the folders have the MDL extension. To convert them to QC, we will need the crowbar application. Provide the path to the folder with MDL files inside and specify the output folder. Don't forget to make a folder for each model. Create new folder called models and put players and weapons folders inside it. I hope you already have Blender installed. If not, get it from Steam. To enable the console in Blender from the start, put -con into launch options. For now, the latest version of Blender is bugged, so I'll use 3.2 version. Remove all the objects from your scene. Select your FPS to 30. Go to File, Defaults, and save startup file. Now it's time to install the add-ons. I have links to all of them on my Discord server. Install Blender source tools first. Also, we will need FX Blender scripts and IOC in CSGO. Go to File, Import, and find there Bash Convert CSGO QC files. Now open the models folder with QC files. Provide export path for your FBX files. And in the Scale tab, put 0023. It represents the scale of 2.3. Open the Editing Tools widget and go to the settings. You can import all your models and animations with this button. You have to provide the folder with all exported FBX files. There should be 4 folders inside this folder: animations, hands, players and weapons. And select your master material for these models. If you have a VIP access in my Discord server, don't create material instances, as we have a widget for auto texturing models. Creating a new MC level will reduce your RAM a little. Now import the rest of the models and animations. Check if your master skeletons are chosen correctly and hit save. Get my AGR config from the Discord server. Open Hlaya and launch the game. Hold the Shift and F2 and load the demo you want. It's highly recommended to play the demo for a few seconds before the action start. Pause the demo and go to the free camera mode. Open the console, type inside it exec AGR, then type list and search for a player's number in the console. In my case, this number is 6, so I'll type POV6 in the console without any spaces. Press F1 to start recording and hit it again to stop. Open the folder with recorded AGR, copy its full path. Now open Blender, go to the file, import AGR. Before import AGR, we need to provide the QC folder's path and choose the right scale. Set the scale to 0023 and then check model instancing. Now we need to clean this scene. Open the side panel and find the tab called AGR Tools. There are some presets for speed up cleaning process. I don't need C4 in this scene. I mark it and the script will remove it. I don't need other players here, so I'll remove them. Before deleting, I check if their weapons are being used by other players. Now I can export all animations. Select the folder to which you want to export. Open Using Tools and provide the path to the folder with all AGR animations. For now we can hide main player and world weapon. You can convert all mask textures with a single click in the Textures tab. To apply textures to models, open this material instance from Details panel. Then search for the texture. If you have a texture called Exponent, you should enable this switch. New player models have a mask texture called Masks1. As the mask texture is not exponent, don't check this switch. You can check the original VMT file, it contains all info about textures. For this you need the name of a texture slot. Now find the VMT file with this material slot's name. Here's the texture path for albedo and normal. This is a very old player model and it doesn't even have an exponent texture. In this case, check the switch called No Masks for Roughness. If you have access to the VIP section in my Discord server, you can texture your models with a special widget. Select all the models you want to texture in the content browser, and the widget will do the job for you. Get ballistics particles from my Discord server. You can also download a Fix Willy pack for blood. Open the archive and unpack it to the content folder. Find the muzzle flash you want and drag and drop it to the level. Now search for the bullet casing particle and put it to the level 2. Attach it to your weapon and select the bone. Usually it's called fire or flash. Select shell eject bone and reset its position. Now select both particles and put them to the sequencer. You can create a new folder for them to keep all things organized. To add a keyframe, click the plus button and select FX System Toggle Track from the menu. Then switch keyframe statement to trigger. Open camera's curves. Find the camera's pitch channel. Place the keyframe for the muzzle particle exactly before this peak. To add the keyframe, click this dot. And do the same for the rest of your shots. To add keyframes for bullet casings, find the moment when the weapon's shell ejector is open. You can scale down the particle here if you don't need it. Almost the same steps for the blood particles. For the blood particle, you can select head, neck or one of four spines. Once attached, you need to find the proper angle of the particle. Now we can move this particle to its folder and set a keyframe. As you can see, the weapon stuck in the wall. We can fix it with a custom POV. Now we need to remove HDR's POV models from the level and the sequencer. The steps of making custom POV are pretty simple. Drag and drop an MC actor to the level. Find the weapon you want to use and put it to the level. Find the model for your arms. It should be the model with V Master Skeleton. I'll use merged arms here, but you can use separated gloves and sleeves. Attach arms and weapon to this MC actor and attach this actor to a POV camera. Reset the position of all models and rotate the actor by -90 degrees. But there is actually an easier way to do this. Remove all this for now. Open the widget and go to the POV section. Select your camera, check spawn meshes and select the models you want. As you can see, all models are spawned with applied visibility keyframes. Remove all visibility keyframes for the knife, we don't need it for now. Now apply idle animation to both arms and weapons. Stretch the animation over the entire sequence. Open additional animation parameters and set its weight. Find shot animation and apply it. To check if you have set the start of the animation in the right place, open the camera curves and go to the camera's pitch rotation. Animations in most cases should start at the beginning of this peak. To duplicate animation, hold the Alt key and drag it. I'll cut last animations to add animations for the knife. A new animation always starts from the current cursor location. Now set up visibility keyframes for the knife and the main weapon. Now we can play the whole sequence, to check if all animations are placed correctly. I want to extend the last top animation a little bit. Don't forget about visibility keyframes. And now we can play the whole sequence. The gun still goes through the wall. To fix it, just scale the POV actor. It looks like 0.25 is a good scale for me. To make proper offsets, you should multiply your offset with the actor's scale. First of all, we need to set proper focal length of the camera. Current focal length is too low. Open the widget and go to the Cameras tab. Select a sequencer and camera and set normal and zoomed focal lengths. To smooth the camera's movement, you need to adjust its curves. Select all transform keyframes, right-click and select filter under the menu. Put here the value in range from 0.7 to 1. Change keyframes interpolation mode to automatic tangents. All we have to do here is smooth the curves all the way down. Hold the shift key and drag keyframes to smooth it perfectly. I still have a strong rotation. To smooth it, go to Yaw channel. I have to smooth this strong peak here. Also, I need to fix pitch. Don't be afraid to manipulate your curves. Remember that you can always re-import to camera if you want. I want to add idle animation for my knife to finish my POV. I need to attach the particles again, because I removed the original view model. After reattach, I need to reset transforms and scale down both particles. This POV now looks good to me, and I can record my science. To make sign, you have to duplicate POV sequence first. Remove POV camera from the sequence and turn on visibility for vault weapon models. Now hide all view models. And turn on visibility for the main player model. You can attach the particles to the world's weapons, or just remove keyframes if you don't need it. Make a new camera and convert it to possessable. Change your camera's focal length if you want. Make a transform keyframe. Turn on auto keyframes. Move your camera to the place you want, and next keyframes will spawn automatically for you. And convert the first and the last keyframes interpolation to linear. Our main character is out of focus. We can change it with manual focus distance. Press this button to add a keyframe. Now we need to tweak our keyframes. Set all the middle keyframes interpolation to cubic, and the last keyframe should always be linear. You can set the beginning and the end of the sequence with the square bracket keys. You can always check how smooth is your camera's movement in curves. Here I need to smooth my camera's rotation. Now remove the old camera in camera cuts and set the new camera here. Also, I almost forgot to change my player's model, as I use lead hands.